walk out the door. But one thing that you gotta remember is one monkey don't stop no show. This train gon' keep on rolling.
Alright, we got 20 minutes starting now. In the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys, and had a large number of servants. He was the greatest man among all the people of the East. His sons used to hold feasts in their homes on their birthdays, and they would invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. When a period of feasting had run its course, Job would make arrangements for them to be purified. Early in the morning, he would sacrifice a burnt offering for each of them, thinking, perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. This was Job's regular tradition. One day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? Have you considered my servant Job? They should really put like an E on it. There's no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied. Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. All right, so I'll say this real quick. I'm not the best at like reading stuff, but like I'll summarize this for y'all. Basically, have you put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? Basically, like he's blessed him so much, like, and blessed everything that he got. You have blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land, meaning that his business is good and he has food to feed and sacrifice whenever you need to. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, take everything away, and he will surely curse you to your face. The Lord said to Satan, very well, then everything he has is in your power. But on the man himself, do not lay a finger. Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and I do not know what that word is. Sabians attacked and made off with them. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the Chaldeans, hey, somebody tell me how to pronounce that. The seas formed 3 raiding parties and swept down on your camels and made off with them. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, yet another messenger came and said, your sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them, and they are dead. I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. At this, Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head. Then he fell to the ground and worshipped and said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. On another day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them to present himself before him. And the Lord said to Satan, where have you come from? Satan answered the Lord, from roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. And he still maintains his integrity, though you incited me against him to ruin him without any reason. Skin for skin, Satan replied. A man will give all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bone, and he will surely curse you to your face. It's just getting worse. He's just telling him to do more to him, hurt him more, punish him more for no reason. He's a very deserving man of everything that he has. He's always been grateful and faithful of that. And basically, he's telling him, like, bruh, like, do even more to him. Test him even more now. And that's not God testing him. God's not doing it. That's the devil wanting to test him, just to test God and the stuff that, and the willingness, but it's used as kind of like a crutch, you kind of hold on to that because it can always happen like that for you. You are no different from Job. You are no different from any other person that walks this earth or walked the earth a long time ago. So this can be you. And for me in my situation, it definitely kind of feels like this is me. I've been taken away from a lot. I've lost a lot, and a lot of things that were very near and dear to me. So I definitely understand that. The Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and inflicted Job with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crowns of his head. Then Job took a piece of broken pottery and scraped himself with it as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." He replied, "You are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" In all this, Job did not sin in what he said. I really felt this portion specifically. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? Like, honestly, we want all of this good stuff to happen to us, but don't expect anything bad to happen. And when bad does happen, we get so bent out of shape about the fact that bad things happen. Like, it's life. We want all of this good, but to even understand good, you got to go through bad. And a lot of people, such as myself, that hasn't went through a lot of terrible things, I'm having to experience that now in my life, which kind of sucks, but it's a way to learn and a way to grow and to understand. And this is just a better way to, look at it. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? Even if you're religious or not, even if you talk about the universe, do you expect the universe to constantly give you good without giving you trouble, regardless of how good you put in? Because again, you'll never know you'll never know good until you see bad. And pretty much vice versa. If all you see is bad, then that's all you'll know. You won't understand the good. When Job's three friends, I do not know how to say this name, so we're going to try our best. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Suphite, or whatever, Zophar and the Namathite, heard about all the troubles that had come upon him. They set out from their homes and met together by agreement to go and sympathize with him and comfort him. When they saw him from a distance, they could hardly recognize him. They began to weep aloud, and they tore their robes and sprinkled dust on their heads. Then they sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him because they saw how great his suffering was. We got another 10 minutes. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. He said, "May the day of my birth perish, and the night that said, a boy is conceived. That day, may it turn to darkness. May God above not care about it. May no light shine on it. May gloom and utter darkness claim it once more. May a cloud settle over it. May blackness overwhelm it. That night, may thick darkness seize it. May it not be included among the days of the year, nor be entered in any of the months. May that night be barren. May no shout of joy be heard in it. May those who curse days curse that day. Those who are ready to rouse Leviathan, May its morning stars become dark. May it wait for daylight in vain, and not see the first rays of dawn. For it did not shut the doors of the womb on me, to hide trouble from my eyes. Why did I not perish at birth, and die as I come from the womb? Why were there knees to receive me, and breasts that I might be nursed? For now I would be lying down in peace. I would be asleep and at rest with kings and rulers of the earth, who built themselves places now lying in ruins, with princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not hidden in the ground like a stillborn child, like an infant who never saw the light of day? There the wicked cease from turmoil, and the weary are at rest. Captives also enjoy their ease. They no longer hear the slave drivers shout. The small and great are there, and the slaves are freed from their owners. Why is light given to those in mercy? Why is light given to those in misery, and life to the bitter of soul? I feel that. I really do. Why is light given to those in misery, and life to the bitter of soul? To those who long for death that does not come, who search for it more than for hidden treasure, who are filled with gladness and rejoice when they reach the grave. Why is life given to a man whose way is hidden, whom God has hedged in? For sighing has become my daily food, my groans pour out like water. What I feared has come upon me, what I dreaded has happened to me. I have no peace, no quietness, I have no rest, but only turmoil. So this whole thing I take as like his cry for help, I kind of went through a phase in which I was just kind of like contemplating and questioning like God a lot. And I was just like, bro, like, why? Like, so many other things make sense. And somebody told me, bro, all you really have to do is, as in to go to heaven when you pass away, is to repent for your sins and believe that God died on the cross for us, basically. And that's kind of just what I have a thing of getting into. And I was told that it wasn't good to question. It wasn't all right to have thoughts that maybe this ain't true. But then as time went on, I started realizing you listen to like a lot of sermons and they'll speak on that. If you just really listen to it, like you'll hear it. It's kind of like you don't believe, but the only way you're going to receive these blessings is if you do believe. And that kind of conflicts with people sometimes because in Job's case, he believes. He believes like a motherfucker. But now he kind of contemplating it. So I'm guessing in this next chapter, it's probably going to be them telling us that he didn't sin or that this isn't a sin, or I don't know. I'm honestly curious. So we're going to see. I do not know this name. Let's look that shit up real quick. Excuse my language. I know this ain't the time for that. Guess what? Watch a little YouTube video real quick. That shit is loud. And I can't turn it down.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name as well as how to say more.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name.
Interesting and often mispronounced biblical names as well. So make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. He appears in the book of Job. In the Hebrew Bible, how do you say it? Eliphaz.
Eliphaz.
Pretty straightforward once you know.
Eliphaz.
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 Now you know.
Alright. Eliphaz. Alright, let's go back. Alright, we got it. Eliphaz the Temanite replied, "If someone ventures a word with you, will you be impatient? But who can keep but who can keep from speaking? Think how you have instructed many, how you have strengthened feeble hands. Sheesh. That speak volumes, bro. Think about how much you done actually touch people in your life. Think about how much you yourself as a strong person has actually like helped somebody in your life. Like it's hard when you in situations, and I'm only saying this because I'm going through it myself. Like it's hard when you in situations to think about how much you help those people in a good way for those people. You know, like even though you in the worstest of situations right now, don't forget about the good that you put in, the good that you the strength that you had, the things that you put that other person onto, because regardless of whether that person realizes it now, you know, they'll realize it later on down the road. And you as a strong individual was able to push that regardless of whether it made an effect on their lives now or if it made effect on their lives 10 years from now. Just know that you did your part. Your words have supported those who stumbled. You have strengthened faltering knees. But now trouble comes to you and you are discouraged. It strikes you and you are dismayed. Should not your that word right there, we definitely got to see what that word is. And I'm cool with learning new stuff, bro. Always. Pace. Pronunciation. I just saw it pop up. Come on.
Piety.
Piety. Alright. Oh, what's the meaning? The quality of being religious or reverent. Devotion. A belief or a point of view that is accepted with unthinking conventional reverence. Okay. Where was we? Should not your piety be your confidence? Like your religion and shit. Should not that be your confidence? Excuse me again. And your blameless ways, your hope. Consider now who being innocent has ever perished. Where were the upright ever destroyed? As I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. Let's talk about some hard hitters right there. As I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. You gonna benefit, basically. You ain't out here sowing trouble. You ain't out here plowing evil. So you gonna benefit. The people that's out here plowing evil, sowing trouble, they gonna regret that shit later. And that's the thing I was saying about like accepting people when they go, bro. Like it's okay. You know, like everything could be okay in the end, bro. Honestly. And like I said, I'm still trying to learn this for myself. Like I'll probably cry in my bed tonight, honestly. But it's fine. It's okay, bro. It's okay, because at the end of the day, you got to think about what you've done to help. You got to think about how good of a lesson you were to that person, regardless of, you know, what that lesson was. Like if it's a bad lesson, you know, like, oh, I shouldn't mess with people like that, then you should self-reflect. But you should honestly know what type of message that you are going to leave behind, whether it's 10 years from now or 2 years from now. You know, like, just be a good person, bro. Honestly, because being a good person keeps you from doing all of this and being in this. Vindictive people don't win in the end. You don't. It just don't work like that. I'm sorry. You got to be able to recognize when you're plowing evil and sowing trouble, because you're going to reap it. At the breath of God, they perish. At the blast of his anger, they are no more. The lions may roar and growl, yet the teeth of the great lions are broken. The lion perishes for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lioness are scattered. A word was secretly brought to me. My ears caught a whisper of it. Amid disquieting dreams in the night, when deep sleep falls on people, fear and trembling seized me and made all my bones shake. A spirit glided past my face, and the hair on my body stood on end. It stopped, but I could not tell what it was. A form stood before my eyes, and I heard a hushed voice. Can a mortal be more righteous than God? Can even a strong man be more pure than his maker? If God places no trust in his servants, if he charges his angels with error, how much more those who live in houses of clay, whose foundations are in the dust, who are crushed more readily than a moth. Between dawn and dusk, they are broken to pieces. Unnoticed, they perish forever. Are not the cords of their tent pulled up, so that they die without wisdom? Basically, through all of this, do you really think that he just let you die? That he just let it all be over? It's just all gonna be over. He ain't gonna come through for you, right? It's just all over. Life is over. It's over. I'm done with it. I can't deal with it anymore. It's all gone. That's really what it is? Why? Are not the cords of their tent pulled up so that they die without wisdom? You gonna learn something, bruh. You gonna learn something eventually. If it's not now, if it's not 10 years from now, if it's not 15 years from now, eventually you gonna learn something. And eventually whoever hurt you or whatever hurt you is gonna be okay in the end, because you are such a strong person. Be a strong person. Be genuine. At the end of the day, everything will be fine. Just have trust in yourself, bruh. At the same way that I'm telling you to heal, I'm trying to heal. We all trying to heal. Just find a way to put something in that hole that's in your heart, you know? Like, we all can just spread more love every day. And if you try to do that, whether it be through reading scriptures or putting back into the world or just simply being a genuine person, the world needs more of that. And if you let your circumstances determine who you are and what type of person you're going to be, you're not going to get nowhere in life. Honestly, it's good to be you and yourself. Don't try to chase and try to be other people. Like, honestly, I've been doing that for the last week, trying to figure out what I was supposed to be and how I'm supposed to be. And I just realized, bro, like, I honestly just need to be me wholeheartedly. If you don't like me for being me, then peace out, bruh. Honestly. And that's something that I'm trying to learn within myself, is how to be alone and how to be okay with pushing people away, because it's okay. Because you got to be okay with giving people that lesson, letting them learn that lesson, making them learn that lesson. And once they learn that lesson, if they come back to you later on in life, then that's up to you to choose if you want to have a genuine relationship or situationship with that person or that physical object or entity or whatever the situation may be. It's completely up to you, but you will have better qualities to be able to look at that situation and say, hey, this ain't something I'm willing to deal with, or hey, I don't want this around me in my life. So whether that's addiction or anything for that matter. Kind of ran over a little bit today, but that's it for the stream. Oh, dang. What's up, Mike? You've been in here the whole time. I'm so sorry. I was locked in, bro. I really am. Dude, yes. Yes, bro. Yes. I'm vibing with it all, bro. I'm glad you still here, man, for sure. Like, it literally means the world, man. Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to the chat at all. I was reading and going through it, bruh. Temptation, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'll show y'all if you can see. Might have to turn the camera down a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. You may not be able to see it, but it's Snakes and Roses. Snakes and Roses represent temptation, I'm pretty sure. That's what it said when I looked it up a long time ago. I don't know. I thought it meant fucking temptation, but whatever, bruh. I thought this shit actually meant temptation. It might. I don't know. That's what I've went with my whole life. Snakes and roses mean temptation. But yes, temptation is a motherfucker, Mike. I'm not even finna lie. Like, you and the thing about temptation, it's not even like temptation can just get you, bro. It's like you actively know what's going on, you know? Yeah, bro. Like I don't even know. I'm not even that religious, bro. Honestly, like I be in and out of it a lot of the time. But oh shit. But yeah, temptation, bro. Like, yeah, that's one of those things that's like it can make you or it can break you as a person, to either one, understand it, or to two, fall victim to it. Because if you fall victim to it, it could just be harmless and you like, okay, I did that and it's over. Or it could fuck up your life entirely, and it's either a one or the other. You know, it could be harmless or it could fuck up your life. And then it's like, damn, if it fuck up your life, you like, well shit, all of that fall back on me. Like, goddamn. Just as a man, like I would take responsibility for it. Just whatever that piece of temptation even was. If it's going out and drinking and ending up in somebody else's bed, or if it's watching porn on the phone and that's not something that you're supposed to do, or if it's just all of these different things that could possibly be tempting. If it's to play the game past a certain time that you're supposed to play the game, you know, it's like all of these things are different aspects of things that are tempting. I ain't no therapist. I'm not trying to yap, but I am trying to say temptation is a motherfucker. And if you are able to understand what side of temptation to be on, you will be okay. Because again, one side is okay. If it's not fucking up your life, if it's not coming in conflict with anything, you'll be okay. But if it comes in conflict with stuff, then that's when you should probably redirect and go to different methods to possibly reach whatever feeling that temptation is going to give you. Find a different method that won't fuck anything up in your life. But when you make the choice consciously, that's when it really hurts you. I feel like, yeah, because you know what you're doing. And that's why I say it's either on one side or the other, because you got to take responsibility for that regardless. You know, that's just how it is at the end of the day. Just as men, you know, you have to take responsibility. And I'll say this for one, same, dude. Fucking same. I mean, it's a lot better to be able to talk to somebody. I mean, but even if you weren't here, I'd still be talking to nobody and not even care. But I definitely appreciate the fact that you are here, because being able to talk to somebody is very great. But yeah, speaking on accountability, after this, I'm going to head out. But on that accountability piece, bro, it's like men have to take accountability in most every situation. And that's just how I've always felt, even in situation in which you're not wrong. Especially if you want things to work out in specific ways. So I will say this, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women in the world that can take accountability for their actions and their parts and their roles. A lot of what I've found recently in the world is a lot of women that don't know how to do that. And a lot of men that don't know how to do that as well. It's a very narcissistic trait, and it for an elongated period of time, it can create, what's the word? For an elongated period of time, that narcissism can honestly create a dependency. You know, it's like you'll always start thinking that you're the problem and that something's wrong with you. And you'll start trying to fix everything about yourself for either a certain person or for a job, you know, or for friends, you know, like not just in a relationship. That narcissism role can play in a lot of different things, whether it be family or friends or jobs or et cetera, you know. And it's simply up to you to notice those signs and to be able to either one, keep your boundaries up, or two, push through it. Like right now, I'm not gonna lie. I want to go and watch my ex-best friend stream just to see what's being talked about either me, my ex-girlfriend, or whatever situation is going on now. I really want to do that. But I know truly that's not something that I should do because it's just going to hurt me. And that's just me diving back into something that I know isn't good for me. I have to set up those boundaries. If I don't, then I'm going to just continue to hurt myself over an elongated period of time. It's not going to help me. And if I want to be helped, if I want to fill that little hole in my heart, then I got to do things to actually achieve that. I don't want this to turn into a full like sermon or rant or anything like that. But yeah, dude. It's not your worth. Not worth your energy or time, buddy. You're better than the past that decides you. 100% right, bro. I 100% agree with everything that you just said, bro. 100%, man. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Just move forward, do better, and just try to keep trucking forward, bro. You keep moving forward in life, get big, strong, focus on shit, and just be a better person in general, man. So, Mike, I hope you have a good night. It was great meeting you, bro. And I think we're going to call it, bro. Y'all have a great evening.
Hall of Fame quick draw. He couldn't even grab his bleed.